The Mathiowetz family excels at keeping things level, whether it's a facet of the family business or one of Mathiowetz Construction Company's major excavating projects. This despite the many bumps in the road that have come its way during its 90-year history. It was 1924 when Martin Mathiowetz used his passion for building machinery to start the company, and in the early years he worked for as little as $50 a week.
He was such a good-hearted guy that he would go and build a township and he'd take off half the bill. And that didn't work out very well.
That was especially true during and after the Great Depression. Mathiowetz Construction struggled to make ends meet through the 1940s. Then, in 1952, Martin broke his neck in a car accident. His oldest son, Rudy, immediately took over, leading the company, but died 2 years later. Brother Richard, a senior in high school, took over with help from his parents, grew into the leadership role, and soon thereafter became well-connected politically, which helped the firm win county and state road projects. Mathiowetz Construction grew steadily in the years that followed. Richard also had 6 children with wife Mary Lou, who in addition to raising the kids, managed the company's books and two-way radios.
Hi, Mom.
Well, hi.
After 40 years of hard work and relative stability, another major setback occurred when Richard suddenly died of a heart attack in 1999, forcing a generational transition sooner than expected. Son Brian had only been president of the company for 3 years when Richard died, and while his master planner skills led Richard to work with advisors so that his estate was in good shape financially, the challenge facing the family was how to keep the business going without him.
The night my dad passed away, I knew that I needed to start constructing a team, so we got the word at about midnight and we left the hospital by about 2 in the morning. We went home and hung around the house, and at 4 o'clock in the morning I said, I gotta go. And I went and started driving to my guys and went to their houses and woke them up and told them the news, and I picked out my guys that I knew I'd need on my team. So by 6 in the morning, I had asked them if they were with me or not. You know, I was worried that they may would jump ship. You know, Richard was the heart and soul of the company and everyone knew that. Like, did they have enough confidence to stick around if I was in charge? So I was at their house before the sun came up.
The answer turned out to be a resounding yes, but that didn't ensure success.
Those first year, at least the first year, the first couple of years were just really, really hard. Because Dad he would always make the final decision on the bidding. That was the hardest, is to always turn the bidding around, because you just didn't know. You don't know what the other guy's going to do. Sometimes he bids cheap, sometimes he doesn't bid at all, and it's hard to figure out.
Brian and his team figured it out nonetheless and continued to grow the business. Mathiowetz Companies also managed to make it through the Great Recession and today employs 180 people. Brian and other family members in the business are also considering how they will transition to the next generation, while reflecting on the value of the business beyond mere revenues and earnings.
Personally, when my 2 sons and son-in-law, you know, at different periods of time came to me and said, I want to work in the business. I see what you do, what we do, I want to do that. You know, and that's, certainly that gives you a sense of, you know, I've done something along the way to make it worthwhile, and so that certainly is exciting. You know, I'm pleased to have them here. You know, I had talked to many people, principals in my position, whose sons are not interested, and I'm like, well, what keeps you going? They're like, I don't know. I probably going to stop one of these days and just sell it or walk away. You know, and so we've got the gift, the beautiful opportunity to go to another generation that a lot of others don't get.
Meanwhile, the one individual who's experienced all the storms this family and business have weathered couldn't be happier.
I'm just so very, very proud of them, all of the kids, because they've all been so good to me through all of this, because it was not easy. When Dad died, boy, I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know how to live without him, because he was always around, he was always there, and it was always to talk to, and nobody left. So it was not easy, but I prayed a lot.